Hello all loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver, welcome to my channel. This week we're going to talk about something a little bit controversial, but something that I feel, you know, having come up in the past week, past couple of days, discussion wise, would make a good vlog. And that is devs' sexism in their video games and just general sexism in video games really. I mean, the devs, sexist devs and sexist attitudes in games and so on and so forth. Anyway, the point is, it came up because Subnautica Below Zero's come out, and in that you play a woman. Now that's the only spoiler I'm going to give you. A, because I don't know anymore really myself, I've never played it yet. And B, because I don't like giving spoilers, right? However, I was watching a stream of somebody who was playing it, and just general chit-chat, and the subject came up that apparently, now I can't verify this, so don't quote me, but apparently the people who made Subnautica Below Zero were supposed to have said that they will never again have a lead male in their video games, and they regret doing so in the first Subnautica game, and that they would change it if they could. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, I don't know what to make of that, but that sounds pretty sexist, because that certainly doesn't make sense, but it sounds pretty sexist to me, because, you know, if they want to have a lead woman in their game, that's fine, but to say we will never again have a lead male, if they actually said that, that's wrong, because you can't say that really, because, well, I suppose it depends on the reasoning, but it doesn't make sense. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I can't verify it, I can't Google it, so I can't verify it. So, as far as I'm concerned, unless it can be verified, it may not have happened. Okay? It may be that something they said was taken completely out of context, right? That being said, it did bring up the idea of my vlog. It brought us to the vlog about times when there's definitely been sexism in video games. Sexism against women, yes, and sexism against men, because let's put it this way, sexism goes both ways. Men can be degraded just as much as women can. People forget about this, but it's true, you know. You can have sexist women as well as you sexist men. It is not an exclusive trait to men, let me assure you. Now, personally speaking, I try not to be sexist. I view women and men, they're equal, they each have their own abilities and traits, and it doesn't matter to me what the lead of a game is, whether it's male or female. Don't get me wrong, it's more immersive for me if I can choose a character, and if I can do so, I will choose a male because I'm a male. But it's got nothing to do with liking males or thinking that males are better or anything like that. All it is that's what I happen to be, so to make it more immersive, I will pick that. If I was a woman, I would pick a woman. It makes no difference. And in games where a woman is the lead, it doesn't matter. That's not important. So, so just to be clear, I'm not saying that I'm one side or the other in that issue. I don't care. What I'm saying is that there are instances of sexism in video games sometimes. Take Witcher 2 for example. Now, I did a bit of research on this because the first time I tried to record this vlog I was interrupted, but to be honest with you, it became a complete shambles and it was a mess. It was horrible, okay? Because I was babbling about how I bet this is in the game, but I can't give examples. Well, this time I can. Witcher 2. Right, I looked this scene up. Now, for some reason I'm not quite sure of, because I didn't watch the whole scene, this elf woman, Mottle I think her name is, is being held by townspeople and threatened with death or something. Right? So you do whatever you do and you save her life. That's as far as I can gather. Her reply is, you saved my life. A little joy as recompense is surely not too much to ask. Okay, so he's then, oh well, I'm intrigued. It's been a hard day. A little joy wouldn't go amiss. The response, what that then leads to, is a sex scene. She kisses you, and then you make love to her multiple times in various ways, which I'm not going to go into because I'm not trying to be crude. I try to be family friendly in this vlog, but given the subject matter, it's going to get a little adult. You know, basically, I've watched the scene. You can find it on YouTube, and that's what happens. She leads you by the hand to a little private place, and the two of you make gratuitous love for reasons. That is your reward, to have sex with her, for saving her life. Now, I don't know the game Witcher 2. I've never played it. But from what little I saw, there's nothing to suggest that she is smart, strong, or powerful. There is nothing to suggest that she was put there for any other reason than as a reward for saving her life. Because she's very much the damsel in distress. Because for whatever reason, her life is in peril, and you go in and save her. Now, I don't know the game. I wouldn't play Witcher 2. I refuse to play all the Witcher games very much because of the content of it and the disgusting content that I don't agree with. But I saw the scene. It's like I said, it's on YouTube. I wanted to, and before you all giggle and he was watching sex, I was doing it for research. I know people say, oh, it was for research, but no, seriously, in this case it was, because I was going to talk about it in my vlog. So yeah, make the jokes if you want, but you know. But no, I mean, it's like, seriously, what the heck? I mean, her dress, for a start off, when you're talking to her, is a bit weird, a bit like, oh my word, is that a dress or two pieces of cloth? So that's a bit weird. But as far as I can tell, because I don't know the story, she was put there simply to be a reward for you to have sex with. That's it. That's the whole purpose of her being there. It's like, what? Okay. As far as I know, I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I've never played the game. You know, but then there's the outfits in the game, video games, that you can unlock as well, where they're very revealing, very sexual outfits for women that are in these video games. And all of this is degrading to women as far as I'm concerned, because I may be a man, but I'm not a pig. I understand that treating women as a sexual object is not right. And that kind of stuff that I'm talking about in Witcher 2, certainly that's what it's treating her as, because she says, oh, thank you for saving my life, here's my body. Now, don't get me wrong, you've saved her life, she's going to want to give you a reward. But could that reward not be gold? Could that reward not be a key? Because she does give you a key afterward, apparently. I don't know what the significance of that is or what it's to, but she says it's of no use to her and gives you a key. So can that not be the reward? I mean, even if she goes so far as to give you a little kiss and say, you are truly a gentleman deserves a gentleman's reward, and gives you a kiss, that wouldn't be too bad. You know, it would still be a bit but it wouldn't be too bad. Yeah? But to completely hand over your body to the man you've never met, as far as I know, except when he was rescuing your life. What the heck, game? Really? You know? So it's complete nonsense. It's complete sexism. Because you're telling people, actually, women are just there to be exploited by the player. They're just there to be, to be sex objects for you. Women are not like that. Women can be strong. Women can be clever. Women can be a lot of things. Now, I am a fully blown homosexual. I will speak English in a minute. I will get this right in a minute. I am a full blown heterosexual male. That's what I am. I know I said homo, don't go there. I'm not. If you are, that's your business. I won't go into that. But I personally am full blown heterosexual man, right? That's what I am. I like women. And if I ever marry, I will marry a woman. That is who I am. But my point is, as I said before, I'm a man, I'm not a pig. I don't look at women as sexual objects. My first thought when I see a woman is not take your pants off, lie on the bed and get ready for some joy. Sorry, that was a little crude, but you know what I mean, don't you? I'm really not like that, because that's just wrong. And video games portraying women in that way is wrong. And now I've seen the Widowmaker's outfit for Overwatch as well, and her outfit was very, again, it was a case of, is that a dress or two pieces of cloth, because the way the flipping cut on the thing where you can see the breasts and that, yeah, it's very, very revealing. And again, they're supposed to be fighting in Overwatch. Now, I don't like the violence for no reason in Overwatch, but they're supposed to be fighting, so it's not very well armoured, and it certainly doesn't make any sense. Are you supposed to be fighting these people or making love to them? It doesn't make sense. But lest you think that this is some SJW ranting about sexism toward women, let me tell you, there can be sexism towards men as well. Men are supposed to be this particular height, or have a big six-pack and look big muscles and look like they've been to the gym every day for their entire lives and look, very sexy. Yeah? Men don't look like that. I'm fat, overweight, and I don't exercise very much at all. Now, that's not healthy, and they keep telling me it's not healthy, but that's who I am. I've never been in a gym in my life. Quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, you go to a gym, they're horrible, sweaty places where people are sweating and smell of sweat. And quite frankly, I wouldn't set foot in one. But in video games, the men are these big, predominant hero types. They look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Look like they've got muscles coming out of their muscles, and are supposed to be the heroes, and they're supposed to save the women, and so on. Really, game? It's still as bad. It is still as bad. Men are portrayed as the heroes, the conquerors, the knights in shining armour. Well, you know what? Not all men are manly. By that I mean not all men are those heroes who would step forward and do heroic things for a woman. Some men, quite frankly, and now I'm not talking about me personally, but some men are not that particularly heroic. They're not bothered. I mean, heck, I will use myself as an example. Like I said, I spend my time playing video games. I spend my time watching Twitch. I spend my time recording vlogs. If you asked me to do any physical exertion, I'd have a go, but I've blooming died trying. I am not the kind of person who could go out and rescue damsels in distress, who could fight my way through 50 dragons and just to get one single kiss from my love. It doesn't make sense. Now, like I say again, I don't agree with them using sex as a reward, and I certainly don't agree with them You know, and to some degree, I mean, like I said, to some degree, a kiss is not too bad because, you know, it's not overly sexual. I mean, you know, there can be tenderness in a woman. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, it's that attitude, isn't it? That this is how women are treated. I mean, Sid Meier's Pirates. Now, I've played Sid Meier's Pirates and I love the game. But one of the ratings of the women is how attractive they are. You know? And if you marry an ugly wife, well, that's considered a bad thing. You know, but if you got the super attractive wife with the with the bustier, the breast coming out the top of it, and you know, oh well, that's brilliant. But it's like, what the heck? They were rated on how beautiful they are. I mean, I didn't see it at the time because, quite frankly, I just played the game. I saw it as just going around pirating and getting money and coming into port occasionally and dancing with the woman, because that's all you really ever did with her. It never got to the point where you went much beyond a kiss. I mean, you danced with her, and as you danced, if you made her look good in the dancing, she would offer your hand, either offer you her hand, which you would kiss, like a gentleman, simple kiss on the hand, or if you did exceptionally well in the dancing, you would spin her around, drop her down, pull her back up, and give her a kiss on the lips. A little kiss on the peck on the lips. Right? So it didn't go into it. But when you look at it really, they rated them on how beautiful they were. It was not right. And I realise that now, but it was probably not right really. But I didn't think about it at the time, and it didn't mean anything to me at the time. You know, but this is the point I'm getting at. You know, should we have this in video games? Or no, we shouldn't. I mean, I could go into a whole discussion about women's lib, equality and all that nonsense, but I won't. And before you complain about me calling it nonsense, I'm afraid to say, and this is all I'm going to say on this, it has become nonsense. When it started, it was a good thing, because women equality is a good thing in itself, right? Women are equal to men, except there are certain things that men can do that women can't do, and there are certain things that women can do that men can't do, right? You would never ask a man to give birth because he hasn't got the equipment, you know? Likewise, certain women, there's certain things that women could do that can't do. They just physically aren't made to do, right? Now, the problem is that women's equality would hate that statement, because they would be, oh, we could do anything men can do. No, ladies, you can't. You can do a lot of things that we can do, and you can do, and you know, you are not inferior to us in any way, but there are certain things that we can do that you just cannot do. You don't have the strength. Could you see a woman, you know, could you see a woman, for example, I'm trying to find an example that doesn't sound sexist, but could you see, for example, we talk about driving and they say, oh, men are better than driving women. Well, that's rubbish. We won't go into that discussion, but that's rubbish. Men are as equally good at driving as women are, and women are as equally good at driving as men. So there's certain things like that. But for example, there are certain, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, and if you could think of any, please do. But there is just certain things that women cannot do, that their physical makeup cannot do. See, you know, certain things that You know, and it's just the way it is. See, even certain jobs, women would not be suited for certain jobs because whether they would get sick because it's that time of the month, or whether they would get sick, or whether they end up getting pregnant and then having to leave, or so on and so forth. Like I said, I am not degrading women. Women are fine. They can do their things, but there is just, each has their role. Each has their place. Men have ours, women have theirs. Each has their thing that they can do that the other can't. A woman is great at being a mother, but you wouldn't ask a man to be a mother. You wouldn't know how. Not really. They can be a father, but they can't be a mother. They can't mother the child, they can't breastfeed, they can't do things like that. You know? It's just how it is. So, okay, but anyway, I've gone way too far into that, and no doubt some of you will start moaning at me about it. That's your business. But my point is that women in video games, and men, like I said, men can be degraded just as easily as women can. The way they portray men sometimes, like these sort of portray the males as this fantasy that women love to see lots of muscles and all this nonsense. You know, they can be degraded as well. So why, you know, the way that either gender should be portrayed in video games is they should be portrayed equals. They should, you know, what's wrong with the occasional slightly overweight character? Would people, see, here's the funny thing, you put a slightly overweight character in the game and people will moan, oh, he's so slightly overweight, are you trying to say that all of that type of that are fat? You know, and it's like, no, just this particular character. Some, you know, so you can't win. But my point is, they should portray them equally. Women should not be put there just as sex objects. They should have a role. They should have, look. If, for argument's sake, a woman is powerful, strong, etc., but she falls in love with the man and it ends in them in bed together, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my opinions on sexing video games, and I've already done a vlog on it. My opinion is that really it shouldn't be there at all. But what I mean when I say it's fine is, it's fine if that's what you want to do with your video game. That's fine, because the woman isn't there just to be a sex object. She is there to be strong and powerful and equal in an equal strong lead, and it just so happens that she's showing her tender side and making love to the man, and the man making love to her. Now that's fine in a sense. Like I said, to some degree I don't think that sex should be in video games at all, but you know, if it is going to be, if you have to put it in, don't make it so that the woman's there just for that purpose. Don't make it so that she's there acting like she's some, like that's her whole attitude. Anyway, like I said, I've talked about this enough. I've rabbited on and on and on, and so on and so forth. However, anyway, you've heard my views. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, let me know. Let me know what you think as well in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen here, leave a like, leave a sub, leave me a comment down below telling me. If you can think what perhaps next week that you'd like to hear me talk about, again, leave me a like, a sub, a comment. I'll be happy to, you know, talk about something if you can think of something reasonable for me to talk about. Either way, to sum up, it shouldn't happen. And it does, and that's my viewpoint. But as I said, leave me a like if you enjoyed what you've seen here, leave me a comment, leave me a sub, and if you could think of a subject for me to talk about next week, leave me a comment down below with that subject. Either way, I have been Joe Silver. This has been a vlog. Thank you very much for watching.